Hey y'all, hope y'all are having a good Tuesday. Just wanted to leave y'all with a little devotion today. Jacob and I were sitting here studying Isaiah 53, and I had read a quote, and that's what our devotion was going to be about, was this certain topic, but the scripture that went along with this, he kind of dug more into, and it's the prophecy talking about the death of Jesus and all that he was going to go through. And it's really detailed in that chapter. But what we're going to talk about today is how Jesus relates to us. Jesus went through so much of the things that we went through, or that not that we went through, but what we go through every day. He has experienced heartbreak. He has experienced the feelings that we feel. And to me, that is so just, it helps me connect with Jesus on a different level, because he knows what we've been through. And you can hear people tell you, oh, I've been through that, or I know what you're talking about. But to know and to understand that Jesus himself has went through and endured those same feelings that we feel, I just love that. I can connect to him on a whole new level, knowing that and studying about that. And so we're going to be in the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 7 specifically, and it says, Jesus was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. And you're probably thinking, out of all that chapter, why are we focused on this one verse? Well, I read a quote, and I'm big on quotes. I'm big on like people writing blogs and articles and just like devotions and like people's points of view on things, which is why I enjoy doing these videos, because y'all get my point of view on things. And it just puts things into perspective, because you and I can read the same verse of scripture, and chances are we might get similar things out of it, but you might see a whole other perspective on it than I do. And that's why I like to read other people's perspectives on things. Quotes really encourage me, especially when they're tied to scripture, because it helps you see that perspective. But this one in particular, I really needed myself today. But it says, the devil wants you in your feelings, because if he can keep you in your feelings, he can keep you out of your purpose. And it's a longer quote, so there's more to it, but we'll get into that in a minute. But I thought about that, and I thought about, as women, how we're emotional creatures. Like, certain times of the month we're a little bit more emotional than others. And, when we go through things, we feel things on a deeper level than most men do. And it's hard for men to understand and connect to women, because they're not wired the same way we are. But Jesus felt all the feels that we feel. And that connects us to him in a whole deeper level. Like I was explaining how it makes me feel with my connection with Jesus on that intimate level. He knows what we feel. He understands. But the devil, he uses that to his advantage, because he knows that if he can get in your feelings, it messes with your mind, it triggers your anxiety, it messes with your perspective. And here's where I really loved what the quote said. It says, he will instill fear, insecurities, and offense. Fear is something that wells up inside of me several times throughout my day. Anxiety's the same thing. I am a very anxious person, and I think it's stemmed from a lot of trauma, and the devil loves to use that to his advantage with me. It could be the smallest thing, and I'm over here shaking like a leaf because of fear and anxiety. Insecurities, that's another thing I struggle with my weight. I was never a big person growing up. And I mean, I was curvy, but I was never a bigger woman when I was growing up. And having to accept myself and have those insecurities of people are going to look at me and think, man, she really lost herself. When it's a metabolic metabolism disorder that I have. That's a whole other story, but it's an insecurity of mine. And the devil, he loves to remind me, you are, ugly. You are nothing. Like he always brings those things to my mind to make me get into that anxious mindset, offense. He loves to make me feel, because I care so much about what others think of me, he loves to make me feel like so-and-so's mad at me. They did this intentionally. Like, he loves to make me have that victim mindset to where I feel like everybody's mad at me if they, don't talk to me or something. Like, they're mad at me. Like, it's so childish, but that's how the devil uses my insecurities against me. And it happens to the best of us. It really does. And it says, because emotions can cloud visions and cloudy visions delay obedience. You weren't called to be led by feelings. You were called to be led by the Spirit. And that is so true. We were called to be what? Children of God. And he has purpose for us. He did not call us to dwell in our insecurities, in our sadness, in our emotions. He called us to bigger and greater things so that we can further his kingdom and do the job that he has set out for us. He understands what we go through. There's no reason to sit and dwell in our emotions and our pity when God understands it, and he can take that and make it what he needs it to be. If it's something you need to learn, he will allow you to learn your lesson. If it's something you need to fulfill, he will allow that. But we have to learn to stop wallowing in our emotions, give it to God, and go to bed. That's the best thing you can do. So if you're struggling with anything tonight, I hope that encouraged you. It really encouraged me when I read it. I was about in tears because I'm like, oh, that is exactly what I needed to hear. And sometimes that's how God gives me things, is, consistently staying in the Word, seeking after what it is He's wanting me to understand. And these videos help hold me accountable because I'm constantly seeking his direction for these videos. And sometimes I have nothing. And then I come across a quote like I did here. And I'm like, okay. And then he just gives me what I need to give to y'all. And I don't know. I just hope that this helps you tonight. I was going to say this morning, but it's about midnight. It's not this morning. And I hope that you can wake up tomorrow and you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, devil, you are not going to instill fear in me today. You are going to leave me alone. And God, you are going to give me the peace and the understanding. And you're going to help me compress all those insecurities, because he will. You just got to ask. So I'm praying for you. I'm praying that whatever emotions, whatever big feelings you're going through today, I pray that you give it to him, because he understands. He has felt those same feelings, and he can take care of those for you. So I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to give it to God and go to bed. As always, if I can pray for you in any way, with anything, and you need me to get specific with God with you, shoot me a text, send me a message, comment below, and I will be happy to pray for you. So y'all give it to God and go to sleep.